Hello, welcome to the PopGlitz.com podcast with the Glaminati. Today is December the 7th, 2014, and I am your host, JaVonni Spears, pop culture extraordinaire for PopGlitz. Our panel consists of fashion connoisseur Tiger Lily from TigerLilyRocks.com and the media mogul himself, JaVonni Brustow, who is also the owner of PopGlitz. Hello, everybody.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Tion.
How are we?
We're good. How are you?
I'm fine today.
I'm great, just recovering from a cold, but I am here now.
How
you can barely breathe.
I know. My voice is back just in time for the show.
He sounds more nasally than I do. How was you guys' Thanksgiving?
I just took an Alka-Seltzer. I feel like I've been stuffed since Thanksgiving. I went back to eating meat, by the way. I have not eaten meat in almost 12 months, and I decided that on Thanksgiving I wanted to have a piece of turkey. So I've been eating turkey and chicken, and I've been going through this little bit of nausea for the past week or so. So that's why I took the Alka-Seltzer. Everything makes me feel stuffed now. So, yes. No longer a pescatarian. I'm back to eating meat.
Welcome back.
Pork and beef. Thank you, dear.
Popeyes will love you.
Huh?
I have to tell you about my Thanksgiving. I don't think I've mentioned this before. After I had Thanksgiving with my family on Thanksgiving Day, the day after, someone wanted to cook another meal at my house. And they were supposed to start cooking the turkey at 6 a.m. They arrived 10 hours late with a frozen turkey at 4 in the afternoon.
Wow.
It all went downhill from there.
Well,
so and how my weekend went.
Well, I hope things got better for you. So, are you guys ready to jump into some topics?
We are.
Okay, so as you guys know, the past 2 weeks have not been, really good in the media for us as a culture, as a people, because of the injustice that's been going on. And what I'm glad to see is that we regular people aren't the only ones speaking out about it. There are a lot of celebrities coming out of the woodwork and expressing their opinions, and it's gotten to the point where things have went way further left than they should have. Azalea Banks went on this rampage towards Iggy Azalea because, they've been having this beef for years, basically since both of them debuted. They debuted around the same time, and I honestly don't know why Azalea dislikes Iggy. Maybe it's because their names are kind of similar. I don't know, but she went on this long Twitter rampage, and she started calling her out for being a white artist who appropriates black culture and, doesn't care about the issues. And J. Cole also did something similar, but, he has a new album coming out. I actually think it comes out this Tuesday, and he has a song called Fire Squad where he just blasts artists like Malcolm Moore and Eminem and Justin Timberlake and, of course, Iggy. In fact, one of the lines reads, "History repeats itself, and that's just how it goes. Same way that these rappers always bite each other's flows. Same thing that my nigga," I don't really like to say that word. I was going to skip it. Elvis did with rock and roll, Justin Timberlake, Eminem, and then Malcolm Moore. I personally, though I understand exactly what he's saying and what he's coming from, I don't think that those particular artists, especially Eminem, I don't think that he's appropriating black culture. I genuinely just think that's really who he is. Tiger Lily, what do you have to say? Because I saw you on Facebook, and, I saw you speaking on it.
I felt that he had a point. I mean, I just feel like our culture gets a lot of things. Like, we start things, and then another culture will come around and pick it up, and then it becomes the it thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we lose credit. We lose the credit for starting something, just like twerking and things. I mean, we always use that as an example. Like, here comes Miley. Now all of a sudden it's the popular thing, and like, she's getting all the credit for it when, and it goes back even before the twerk scene. It goes back to Africa and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that, I don't know, I just think that we don't get the credit that they do for the stuff that we've created. It's like, hey, let me make this better. And, I don't think that Justin Timberlake, I don't think he meant it in a way to say that Justin Timberlake and Macklemore and the other artists like Iggy and stuff that they're purposely trying to take what's ours. I mean, all singers and rappers can have soul. It doesn't matter what your culture, your color, religion. Everybody has some kind of soul, and
Mm-hmm.
it would be unfair to say that they can't have that sound because we don't know what they grew up listening to. We don't know what their struggles were, so I don't want to say it in a way as like, you can't sound like us, but at the same time, I understand where he's coming from. I don't think that he came from a place of, I don't like these people because of that, but it's just things are really heated right now on both sides, but we do need to come together and all be, the thing is, we need to be against the police. It's not that we need to be against each other. A lot of my coworkers are, white, and some of them are, like, better than some of my, other friends that I've known forever. I talk to them a lot more and everything, so I don't really like being, I don't like where we're at right now. It makes you feel like you have to take a side, and we really shouldn't. The thing is, we need to be against the police. I mean, they're doing this to people in general, but it's definitely, I feel like we get the short end of the stick when it comes time to, take legal action for it. So I think that everybody's in their feelings right now, and sometimes things are going to be said that, are not really well thought out, before they come out, with those words. So it's really hard. It's hard to speak on it without coming off as a bad person. So.
And I totally agree with what you're saying. What about you, Vonnie? How do you feel?
Now, how many times have we said no politics? And I'm pretty sure you do not want to know my opinion.
Just keep it short. Just keep it short.
So I'm not going to go there. Now, to go back to what Azalea Banks was doing. I've never really followed her on Twitter. I just happened to pick up my phone, and I saw Azalea Banks calling Perez Hilton a faggot. And then everyone was saying about, she's gay bashing, and then she responded, "It's your fault you got called a faggot." And I'm like, I haven't seen anyone act up that badly on Twitter other than, like, Chris Brown. In my opinion, I think the bitch needs medication. That's all I can say. I disregard everything that came out of her mouth in that ridiculous, childish Twitter rant that she had. I was in shock. Where's her management? Like, why is anyone even allowing that? As for what J. Cole said, misappropriating black culture, the issue that I have with that, I feel that it's a ridiculous argument only in the sense that when black artists like Usher and Nicki Minaj, when they sing pop music, it's called crossover appeal. But when whites do it, when whites decide to do hip-hop like Justin Timberlake, it's considered stealing. And if we're to follow this logic, Whitney Houston would probably be the biggest fraud of all time. So, in my opinion, that's just an argument that I don't like. I believe that we are allowed to have competition. If someone else can do the same thing and people like it, I don't see what the problem is.
And I'm exactly with you on that. And in fact, I was in a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. We've been friends since kindergarten. You know, he let me play with his Play-Doh, and I gave him a cookie.
Oh my God.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And, you know, we were talking about how much we used to listen to NSYNC and listen to Britney and Christina, because, you know, they all basically came, Backstreet Boys, you know, they all basically came around at the same time. And, you know, I went back yesterday and I listened to NSYNC's first album, and I'm like, the R&B influence is there. Like, it's been planted there. Like, they've always basically done R&B and pop music. And pop music is just another form of saying popular. A lot of people don't get that. Usually when you say pop music, you think, oh, it has like this little dance, electronic type beat going on, which it does, but at the end of the day, it really means pop music. I personally don't think that artists like Eminem, as I stated earlier, and Justin Timberlake are appropriating black culture. I really just think it's who they are. And music to me has no color. It never has. It never will. Granted, some people or, you know, some races may have started one thing and it just took over a form by another race. But at the end of the day, music is music, and it's here for everybody. And you mentioned Whitney Houston, which makes me think of the trailer for her upcoming Lifetime biopic. It premiered over the weekend, and it actually looks pretty interesting. In fact, I can't wait to see it. Top model alum Yaya DaCosta will be starring as Whitney Houston, and it was directed by Angela Bassett, and this would be the first film that Angela ever directed. Did you guys see the trailer?
I'm actually viewing it, and because I was hearing about it all over Facebook, so it just felt like I had already, you know, seen it. But honestly, it got a lot of good reviews just off of the trailer. Everyone thinks that this is going to be, you know, a good movie based off of, because Lifetime hasn't been doing too good, you know, with their past movies. We saw the Aaliyah biopic and some other, you know, some other, you know, like the Brittany Murphy one and things like that.
And that Saved by the Bell one, yeah.
Yes, and they based it off of Screech's point of view. So this coming from, I don't see Angela Bassett putting out a shitty movie. Angela played Tina Turner. You know, like I think she knows how to do a movie. You know, she's been in movies a long time. She's a veteran. I don't see her putting out, you know, a crappy movie. I don't see her, you know, doing anything to really disappoint the, you know, the family. I mean, Whitney's life was in the news. It's not like there were any secrets or anything. Like, she was openly cracked out. So, you know, it looks to me like it's going to be a good movie. I'm definitely going to watch it. I did not watch the Aaliyah biopic just because I knew it was going to be bullshit. But this looks like it's going to be good. I just watched the trailer. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll live tweet and Facebook during it, I'm sure, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Me too. What about you, Vonnie?
Now, as for Whitney being cracked out, have we not forgotten crack is cheap, crack is whack? She did say that.
Oh, yeah, she didn't do crack. She did the more lethal.
Whitney Houston said in her last Oprah interview that she used to lock herself in her bedroom doing cocaine and reading the Bible. Unless they include that part in the movie, I'm not watching it.
I don't remember her saying that.
I remember that interview. And there's also this Vine video going around of Whitney out at dinner with Bobby Brown, and she said, "I don't fight. I beat bitches up."
Oh, wow.
That's the other scene. Those are the two scenes that I want to see. I just want to fast forward, and that's all I want to see, and I'll be happy.
So you're not really going to give the movie a chance at all? basically.
I mean, she's Whitney Houston, you know, for all of her troubles and whatnot. She was a national icon, and I think that I would look at it. I'm really curious to see how her life is going to be painted. I want to know if any of the Being Bobby Brown era is going to be included or not, or like the Michael Jackson tribute. You know, I don't want to see, you know, the bad parts completely glossed over because, I mean, that's also a part of her life as well.
It's true. And actually, I'm glad that you brought up Bobby Brown. The movie people are saying that it's a biopic, but you know, that's kind of what the trailer is showing, but earlier press release basically said that the movie is going to be a movie about her and Bobby's relationship, like how it started off as, you know, also nice and interesting, and just, you know, how everything just turns out bad. I'm not exactly sure, which is why I want to watch it, because I'm not exactly sure what's going to go on. All I know is that Angela Bassett is one of my favorite actresses, and I love her. And, you know, I love Whitney Houston. Granted, you know, I don't think that a movie should be made right now, especially since her family, too, is not behind this. But it just seems that Angela Bassett, because she is Angela Bassett and because she has worked with Whitney before and, you know, they shared a friendship, I just want to see what she came up with. Not to mention, I don't think I'm going to be doing anything that night anyway, and there's not really too much of anything on TV these days, so why not watch the movie? Why not?
So why don't you let us know what day and time that comes on?
Oh, it's January the 17th at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time and 8 Eastern Standard Time. You know, I never understood the time zone. I don't want to. So, Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose, as you guys know, they are getting a divorce. They're not divorced yet. They're simply separated, but they are filing. And Amber Rose, over the weekend, did this gorgeous photo shoot with Oyster Magazine. And it was really cute. And, you know, she did this little thing where she would, what am I trying to say? She did this thing. It was an interview, but it wasn't really an interview. They basically made it seem like it's a website, an online dating website, and she filled out all of this information, and she did this gorgeous photo shoot with these very nice looking guys, and it doesn't seem like she's bothered at all about this pending divorce. And I, for one, don't think she should be, because, you know, with Khalifa is with Khalifa. Not that I can't even sit here and say I don't know why they got together in the first place. So, hey, you love who you want to. And Wiz,
horrible.
He does look horrible. And he has a rumored sex tape out with Playboy model Carla Howe. And it's been reported over the past few days that he's really fighting for it not to come out. You know what? I'm going to ask Bonnie about this one, because this just seems like he has a lot to say. Mr. Brustow.
So, what is his name? Wiz Khalifa he's not even divorced yet. I mean, and for this to happen while he's married is just foolishness. Is anyone surprised? He's having a divorce because his wife, Amber Rose, caught him in bed with twins.
Well, actually, let me speak on that real quick. I for one, was surprised, because you could tell that she loved him their relationship was different than the one she had with Kanye West to me. Kanye treated her like he's treating Kim. Yes, he loves Kim, but Kim is his doll. Kim is his toy that he could parade around in public and, you know, take to events. And, you know, that's kind of
what happens when you marry a gay man. That's what it is.
You know, that's what happened. And, you know, that's kind of what happened with Amber. But when I saw her and Wisty, they just genuinely seemed like they really did love and care about each other. And they looked like they had a great friendship. So when the news broke that they were getting a divorce and she caught him in the bed with twins, I'm like, wait, why? Why is this happening? You know, I was rooting for them personally.
He wasn't just in the bed.
We're all rooting for them.
He was in the bed with twins in a house that she owned.
That's true, too.
Now, while Wiz Khalifa is doing these sex tapes, Amber Rose, again, she had that lovely photo shoot that she did. And she was also out riding around, I think it was in L.A., with the famous photographer Dave LaChapelle. I mean, so she's doing her thing, moving on professionally to bigger and better things while he's, wallowing around in his own mud. Now, I do have to say that did you all look at the pictures from this sex tape of Wiz?
I did look at the pictures, and am I the only one who's actually kind of sort of hoping it comes out for the most part?
Everyone, of course, thinks that he looks like a dog. I mean, like his hair.
Yeah, he does look like a dog.
An actual mutt. But then there was a picture that showed an overly pronounced Wiz. And it seems that all of a sudden he gained some new fans. I'll say that.
I mean, the power of Tommy Hilfiger underwear. Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
What about you, Tiger Lily?
I saw the picture and I was like, I mean, I've seen a lot of tall and thin guys really, with a nice package, but it doesn't make up for that face. I mean, I can't get with that face at all. I don't know how she did it. I know there's somebody for everybody, but I don't see what the big deal is about him. There's no amount of money that would make me sleep with Wiz Khalifa. None.
1.3 billion.
And I just think that he's just kind of being disgusting about it. Like, your wife caught you cheating, and we know that he's been cheating this whole time, but you're like parading around. You have a child, and I just think that it's disgusting because one day their kid's going to be, older, and all of this stuff that's on the internet is still going to be there. And he's going to see how his dad did his mom, and how she definitely still loves Wiz, because she had tweeted to him, that she still loved him and everything. That she didn't want this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a really pretty girl, I think
gorgeous.
That she's a great girl. I liked her when she was with Kanye. I just think that she's really different. I like her actually over Kim, as far as with Kanye. I like her a lot better. I don't know. I think that she's just...
Girl has a personality. I mean, she's not Botox to death either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was a natural beauty. I'm not saying that Kim Kardashian is not, but after about her 5th round transformation since 2007, I mean, Amber has stayed the same from day one.
Right.
And the most interesting thing about this whole sex tape ordeal is the fact that, this occurred during a photo shoot. This was allegedly during a photo shoot. Like, they started having sex during the photo shoot, and he didn't know he was recording. It just doesn't make any sense. You're already in front of cameras, and then you start having sex, and then she decides that she wants to release a video. I mean, well, that's kind of what you get for, having sex in front of people. I'm surprised there's not, more pictures out there. I don't know if this is intentional. It's all very stupid. And not to mention, on her Instagram, Carla Howe posted all these pictures. That's how the news started. And it's funny, in the beginning, she removed only the picture of an overly pronounced whiz. I don't know what that was about. I feel like the whole thing is staged. I don't know.
Like he's trying to do something to Amber, like as far as you think it's staged for her, or?
I mean, staged as for some type of revenge on her, staged as in trying to amp up his career. Didn't he say that his career wasn't going anywhere or something like that he was complaining about?
Well, you know, his new album, Black Hollywood, came out in August. I think it debuted at number 2. I think it did pretty good. It sold around like 90,000 in its first week, which is low for him because, you know, his last 2 albums have sold over, I mean, they debuted with over 190,000. And, you know, to date, I don't think it's sold over 200,000 copies. And he hasn't really gotten a big hit from this album. I don't think he's doing a tour right now. So maybe it is some type of publicity.
Maybe he should put down the bong and focus on his career. And then maybe he wouldn't have to release sex tapes to get ahead.
Put down the bong and the thong.
Come through. The bong and the thong. So, yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it. I missed it because I wasn't here. I was decorating the Christmas tree. But Chris Brown and Chrissy Rice have decided to call it quits again. But I think that this time, this is it. Apparently, Chris has accused her of cheating with Drake while he was locked up in jail. She hasn't come to visit him, she says. In fact, it all started yesterday during 106's Cali's Christmas event, where Chris took the stage and he said, how many single ladies do we have here tonight? Because I'm single too, and F that bitch. Oh, yes. And, you know, Twitter, it doesn't take long for people on Twitter to go. It doesn't take long for people on Twitter to take notice and catch on. And once that happened, everything just went into overdrive. And Karrueche also went to her Twitter page because she caught wind of what was said, and she stated, you know, niggas be in their feelings when you break up with them, and looks like I'm a single lady again. But, you know, I, for one, personally feel like Chris actually did care about her. In fact, back in like August, he did an interview where he stated, you know, how much he appreciated her because, you know, they've been together for 5 years on and off, and after the Rihanna thing, getting back, you know, back when he chose her, when he chose Rihanna over her, after all of the legal things were dropped, and, you know, they tried to work it out. Remember, they went to the Grammys. I think that was 2012, and Rihanna performed stage. She was singing to Chris. And, you know, I just really feel like if he didn't love her, I do think that he really did care and appreciate her. So I'm wondering exactly what went wrong and how is Drake involved? Tiger Lily, thought.
Drake, I don't know where he comes from. I'm still laughing at the memes now because there's so many memes about this.
There are so many. Oh my gosh, it makes no sense.
Drake is like that shady girlfriend. Like, girlfriend as in, like, your friend that you think is your best friend, and she's, like, sleeping with the guys that you talk to, or you may say, I really like this girl, and then she slept with him. I think Drake is like that. He pretends to be, like, a guy's guy, but Drake, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't really see him and Karrueche, though, together. I don't know why. I don't feel that it's true. They just seem like a weird hookup. she might want him, and I just don't see him. I don't know. It's really hard for me to call it. I think Chris Brown's messy. You know I love Chris Brown, but he's very messy. He doesn't know how to keep his stuff to himself.
Petty. Chris is very petty. He lashes out with the quickness. He doesn't know how to keep things to himself or private, and yet the first thing that happens when things, you know, blow out of proportion and the media catch hold and the fans and everything is, you know, he kind of sort of plays victim. And, you know, I too love Chris Brown. I've loved him since 2005. I will continue to love him, but I have to call BS when needed, and I really think that he's not mature enough these days. I don't think he's ever really truly been mature, but it's just proven. I mean, he's 26 now. He's still making all these rants. He's going to social media. I mean, that's stuff that my little sister does. What about you, Vonnie?
I don't know if it's the stress from that bald spot on the top of his head, too much medicinal marijuana. I'm tired of Chris Brown. As far as him caring for Coochie Train.
I call her Crispy Rice.
Yes, for you to break up with someone and go on stage and shout, F that bitch. You don't care for them. That is trifling. You just completely negated anything that you did for the person. He was counted as being the worst male celebrity. The worst male role model celebrity by Huffington Post last year. He broke out his mother's windshield with a rock. And, you know, we all get angry about Ray Rice and whatnot, but Chris Brown has been allowed to act like a complete ass for the last 5 years, and it only gets worse. I miss the original Chris Brown before we had Twitter and Facebook. He wasn't acting then. I mean, someone else needs to manage it, you know, make him go sit in a corner or something. This is ridiculous. And as far as Drake, whether or not you think that he would be involved in this, of course he would be involved. Drake and Chris Brown, they were throwing bottles at each other in the club. I absolutely see him doing that, going after Karrueche, someone who is trying to have a career. Remember, he's with an aspiring model. She's not that, I don't want to say she's not that great of arm candy, but up against who he was with before, there are plenty of people he could be with in Hollywood than this girl who has not gone anywhere in the last 5 years that they've been together. She can't even capitalize off of the name recognition of being his girlfriend. I could absolutely...
Except only that. I mean, whenever you think of her, besides the fact that people cannot pronounce her name and they call her all of this stuff,
Coochie Train.
The only thing you can really say about her is she's Chris Brown's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever. Like, literally, that exact statement. That's what people will say. That's what people have always said. That's what they will continue to say. Now,
give her something for her career, something.
She hosted 106 in Park, and she did Beyonce's daughter, and the Beehive is upset. So, I mean, other than that, you know, there's really nothing. I mean, really. I mean, people say that she's a model. She herself says that she's a model, but I haven't seen her model anything.
She's modeled. I mean, it's never been anything huge, but I will give it to her.
What has she modeled?
But
I don't remember the name.
She's modeled on Chris Brown's Instagram.
Some little publications and whatnot. I will give her that. I mean,
Fields are perfect.
Like Kenya Moore, I've seen her in, you know, some things recently. I mean, they weren't huge, but it doesn't mean that she's not.
But she's not really. I mean, she's just really. Karrueche is not special to me. There's nothing that screams model to me about her. She just looks like an everyday girl, you know, that lives in L.A. She doesn't look like, oh, my God, this is a model. She doesn't have, like, she's thin, but she doesn't have a body. And I mean, she's cute. She's cute. She's not beautiful. She has no edge to her. There's just nothing to her other than being Chris Brown's, you know, rebound. And that's all she's ever been, and that's all she will ever be. I've said it so many times. Like, she is a rebound. She will never be Rihanna to him. Like, he disrespects her all the time. Like, he really disrespected their relationship, and she's like a puppy. She keeps coming back. So, I mean, I don't feel bad for her. She's a glutton for punishment. I mean, I like Chris Brown, the singer, you know, but he's very troubled, and it's just, he's never going to respect and love her like he did, you know, like, and I can't even say he respected Rihanna because he wouldn't have done what he did to her at that time. But he's never going to love Karrueche in the way that he loves Rihanna. She's never going to be that. She's never going to be anything more than just a rebound.
She needs
and
to
she just
move
needs
on.
to get over
I really feel that she believes that she is, like, that's the only celebrity boyfriend, like, that she'll get. I don't know if she's holding on him for career reasons. I mean, move on for Christ's sake.
I think so.
And it's so awful.
Who else is she going to go to?
Well, maybe Adrian Bailon and Tamar Braxton were right on the reel when they were talking about her and their relationship. I mean, it's apparent that she's just really trying to see how long she can be with him before things take off. But, babe, it's been 5 years. If anything hasn't taken off since then, I don't think anything will take off in general.
That's the same as Christina Milian and Lil Wayne.
Oh, my God. I never liked Christina Milian. I don't know why, but I've never liked her. I don't think I ever will like her. Every time I feel like, you know, she found her calling as a host for something, because, you know, that's basically all she's doing these days. She's hosting things. She just pops up again with a new record. And I'm just like, why? Why is she still singing? Why is she still trying? Now she's on Young Money, and she's with Lil Wayne, and apparently that's not going to last too much longer, because Lil Wayne went to Twitter last week and stated that, you know, the Carter 5, which is actually scheduled to come out on the 9th as well, but with the tweet that Lil Wayne did, you know, saying that the album won't be released and it hasn't been released because of Baby and Cash Money, it's making me wonder if it's ever, like you said, if it's ever going to get released. And this really makes, honestly, I'm sad about this for various reasons. You know, Cash Money started here in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and, you know, before they made it big, they were the artists. They were our personal artists, basically. You know how, like, certain cities or certain states have, you know, those underground artists that are big, you know, there because, you know, everyone in that area rocks with them? That's what they were, and then they blew up, and then you have this gigantic roster. I'm not going to say gigantic roster. It was a small roster, but, you know, they did big things. And for Wayne and Baby's relationship to deteriorate the way that it's doing, it bothers me. I don't know exactly what went wrong. I don't know what's going on. I also read a report saying that Lil Wayne hasn't received any royalties from Cash Money in almost 2 years or something like that. So maybe Tyga wasn't wrong at all. You know, a few months ago when he said, you know, that things over at Cash Money and Young Money weren't all that they're cracked up to be. What do you think, Tiger?
I think Birdman's sleeping with Young Thug, and now Lil Wayne is, you know, out of the picture, because remember, Lil Wayne kissed Birdman way
That's
back.
His father.
I think he's a little, get the hell. If that was his father, he'd be paying him. He's bird feeding him. Listen, there is no way. I just think that he's, you know, now he's no longer, you know, being treated as the son or the the date, whatever the hell is going on in Cash Money. Something's going on, and they're bringing back Juvenile, and who else are they bringing back? And I don't even think that they can really do that. I don't know if we really want Juvenile at this point in time in hip-hop.
I don't think so either, honestly.
Really?
I just think that Lil
Juvenile,
Wayne,
really?
Yeah, they're bringing him back, honey. They're bringing him back. I'm so confused. It just really seems like a lover's quarrel to me. It does not feel like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their camp, and I doubt that he lets him out of that contract.
What about you, Bonnie?
Do you all remember that Lil' Kim did an interview, I think it was on The Breakfast Club, over the summer, and she was talking about the same thing? I think that she sent over some music over there that they just completely took from her, period, and about how Nicki Minaj, when she first went over to Cash Money, that they offered her, when Lil' Kim was calling her a groupie, they offered her this really ridiculous contract where she wasn't getting any royalties at all. And a better contract was over with Diddy, and she just was so pressed to get with Young Money. And he's like, "Why? Like, you're not going to get anything." She's like, "But it's Young Money. Like, it's Lil Wayne. Like, I've got to do it."
But why? I actually don't recall that interview, but why would she?
I mean,
what would make her think that it's Lil Wayne? Like.
Because he's like the biggest name, and especially don't forget that he had this huge, massive album in 2008 that sold over 1 million in the first week. That was the biggest. It might have been the biggest selling of the year, or relatively close to it. That was his biggest time. So I could completely see her wanting to go with him at that time, but she just had groupie eyes at the moment. As for this relationship deteriorating, Lil Wayne's music, I believe, hasn't been doing a lot of mainstream stuff lately. He's been doing a lot of creative things, and they haven't been selling that much. So I could completely see them wanting to delay or not put it out at all. Now, he recorded over 100 songs. And that was as of summer. It could have gone up. So I find it a little hard to believe that none of them are worthy to be on an album. But given his latest material, hey, I think anything could go. Cash Money, people always refer to it as being Lil Wayne's label. They're like, you need to go sign on Lil Wayne's label, Cash Money, but it's not. I'm glad that that's being cleared up now. It's just that he's the most prominent artist on the label. I think that if everyone thinks it's his label, then he should probably put down the scissor for a second, stop having children since he has 4 kids with 4 baby mothers, and actually focus on starting his own label.
Well, I thought
with his
that
friend already.
The Young Money imprint was basically kind of sort of his own label. Now, I don't know if they would let him buy that and leave Cash Money, but I would think that that would be the way to go. He's built this roster that includes, 2 of the most popular artists in music today, Nicki Minaj and Drake.
But it's not his roster. That's my point.
So it's really not his roster. It's Cash Money's roster at the end of the day.
Well, just credit him because he's in the front. He's not as big of a person as we're painting him to be.
Now, this makes me wonder, when Wayne leaves, is Drake and Nicki, are they going to stay on Cash Money, or are they going to be
don't have a
from their
choice
contract,
unless
or what?
They're going to have to wait and fulfill their contract.
Uh-oh. This is sad. And I don't know what's sad about this. I am okay. And, back to what Bonnie was saying earlier, yes, 2008. I remember that year perfectly well because that is the year I graduated from high school. And Lollipop was out. It played 27 times at prom. and we didn't care. The Carter 3 was Lil Wayne's breakout album. Like Bonnie said, it sold over 1 million in its first week. It sold 400,000 in its first day, and it received universal critical acclaim from music critics, and it even got him a Grammy. And you know that was the year where Wayne was everywhere. He was on. You could not turn on the radio. You couldn't turn on a music station and not see a song or hear a song that was either by him, featuring him, or something. I don't think that this is good. I don't know what's going on, like Tiger said, behind the scenes, but I really hope that they can work it out. I hope that things really do get better for them over there, because it looks like
Wayne is just past his prime, and that's
I really don't think that Wayne is past his prime. You know, people...
I think he's getting old to me. I mean, not old like age, but I'm kind of not looking for an album from Wayne anymore.
As I said,
that's because he started out so long.
He's been doing mainstream work. And the music he's been putting out there has been less popular, and he's been consistently going in that direction. Remember the rock album that he was doing when he tried to play the guitar? Fail. Nobody wanted to hear that. You know, and he wants to do the skateboarding and whatnot. Dude, focus on, you know, what people actually want to hear. It's the same thing as, I wasn't supposed to say it, Beyonce, when she said that she wants to be known for herself. I want to be known for Beyonce and not Sasha Fierce. Well, no one cares about Beyonce. We want Sasha Fierce. So that's what we want from Wayne. Stop being creative. Stop trying to play the guitar. You know, the whole little backpack skateboard thing like he's 14 years old, you know, I guess is cute. But, yeah, he's shooting himself in the foot, and I'm glad that someone is stepping in to say, stop it. We're not going to put out this foolishness anymore.
Well, I guess that's sad. In fact, I think that concludes this week's podcast. Unless you guys have something else that you want to talk about.
I don't.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was this week's current events.
This concludes this week's podcast. Thank you, Tiger Lily, for joining me tonight.
Oh, no problem.
And thank you, Mr. Brustow, for joining.
You're absolutely welcome.